Hi, it's Jeff again. We're going to work on how is it that you've got the hands that you need to be able to play, but now how do you coordinate all the different parts of the body? What are the exercises you can use to be able to put this stuff together? Maybe you're already past that. Maybe you have one spot where you're just a little uncertain about, that doesn't sound right, I'm not sure how that works. Well, we're going to put those, some good techniques to use to be able to put those together. The big thing being that almost all of our music at this point, in some shape, form, or fashion, is based off of playing on what's known as beats 2 and 4. So if you're thinking in music 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll hear that kind of pulse throughout music all the time. And a lot of times you'll hear the snare drum happening on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've been in a few churches where 1 and 3 was where they thought it was supposed to be. You'll see them clapping on 1, 2, 3, 4. But it feels so unnatural to the music because just rock and roll and the history of music in these last 2 centuries, for the most part, it's all been focused around 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And as drummers, we're the backbone of that for the most part. Everybody else is emphasizing that, but without the snare drum in place, it makes it really hard to do that. So we're going to talk about an exercise that you can coordinate that. And I'm going to break it down really simple in the beginning. We're going to use 4 notes. The key being that our right hand is going to play all 4 notes all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to play it on one drum in the beginning. When you get to 3, when you get to 1, 2, 3, 4, then you're going to put the left hand and the right hand together. So you can also think 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, together, 4, meaning that both hands are playing together when you get there. So it would look like this on a drum. 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, together, 4. Might be a little bit harder in the beginning. Maybe you've got that already, but if it's too much, slow it down. That's the answer to almost, I can't play this, it's too hard. Slow it down. 1, 2, okay, now I'm going to play them together. 4, 1, 2, together, 4. All right, so if you can do that consistently, you're going to find that half of what you need to do as far as playing the drum set is already accomplished. So if you can't do this comfortably, you need to just keep doing it at all tempos. So this is 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Faster. You can already hear the 2 and 4 kind of happening. If I was going to count this in traditional music, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's what you hear, for 90% of a song for the most part. The rest of it is all little changes around that. So how do I apply that to hi-hat or ride in the actual drum set itself? Right hand goes over to the hi-hat. The left hand is going to play on 3, or if you're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, however it is that you're thinking at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm hitting together on 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, and I'll speed that up. 3, 4, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. When I go over to the ride, it does the same thing. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, together, 4, 1, 2, together, 4, stop. So the big picture being that sets us up for the basis of everything else that we're doing. The bass drum after that is just, it's just the icing on the cake for the most part. If we can't do the typical playing on beats 2 and 4 on the snare drum with a hi-hat going or the ride going, everything's off at that point. So work on that first, and it's practice and repetition. All right, and then once you're ready for that, then you have to figure out, all right, how is it that I'm going to put the bass drum into that? So far we have 2 appendages going, and you're thinking at the same time. So you have 3 things going. Now we're going to add a 4th thing at the same time. Those multitasking, you probably have no problem with this whatsoever, but it can be a challenge. So we're going to figure out how to do that, and then we're going to do that by breaking it down. So we're going to add one thing in at a time and take away another. So in this case, I'm going to take out the hi-hat. We've been playing this the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to play the bass drum on 1, and the snare drum on 3 now. So I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Once this is comfortable and you don't have to think about it anymore, you can start talking to your friend or text somebody, then you're probably ready to add something in, add the right hand back in on the hi-hat. But I'm thinking in my head as I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, or in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the general pulse of a song. The quarter note gets the beat, so we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, and then you go, okay, well I'm ready to add everything back in. Maybe not yet. Take the hi-hat and add the bass drum in. So we're just isolating these at one point to make sure that we're good. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, I'm playing the bass drum on each time I get to 1, or if you're counting in 4/4 time, it'll be on beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So together 2, 3, 4. Together 2, 3, 4. In traditional counting, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and now once I've got this going, I'm going to start thinking about 2 and 4 real heavily with my mind, because that's where my snare drum's going to go in a minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and once this is comfortable, try to add the snare drum in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and over. We play so many things as percussionists in repetition. Most of the song is all spent playing basic patterns and rhythms like this. The rest of it's just kind of the cream on top of it. Once you've got this comfortable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and when you can do a pattern like that completely without having to think about it, then you pretty much have it under muscle memory. Your hands will memorize what it is that needs to happen in order to make that right, and that's called muscle memory. So the repetition of doing this over, and you hear people talk about, well, you have to practice, you have to practice. If you don't practice, the muscle memory doesn't happen, and so you're always struggling to remember how's that feel and how's it go. And you can't really start thinking ahead about the rest of the music if you don't have these basics down. So you can change things up. Most of the things from here would change from the bass drum pattern. You can change those items. We'll talk about that a little bit. Or you could move over to the ride and do the same type of pattern that you were doing before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Different patterns that you can use for the bass drum would be playing on every beat with the bass drum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the foot going on every beat. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And when I'm comfortable with that, then I can add in the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a common pattern. The other one would be, another one would be 1 and 3 and. 1 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So the bass drum's playing 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. If you've got that down at the hi-hat. The last pattern would probably be the kind of standard rock and roll pattern. We don't use it as much contemporary now, but if you're playing something that might be a little bit older, you'd see a common rhythm of 1 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2. And if that's hard to add the snare drum in, then take it out 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, and stop. Those general ideas will get you through about, I'd say, 75% of the pieces of music that you're going to see and hear. We'll talk soon about how do I figure out what that is in the music. That'll be on another lesson here, so look for that one to figure out what is it that I do to make sure that I'm playing essentially what was actually recorded. You have that bass idea, and then if you guys decide to change it from there, you'll at least have the bass big picture of the song together. Until next time, we'll see you then.